Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Steve. A whole bunch of series are coming back to my channel. So who's better? Again, there's going to be a poll at the top right of your screen. You can vote on who's going to be next. I don't know if it's going to be LeBron versus Kevin Durant or James Harden versus Russ. It's going to be lots of different players versus each other. So leave your... you can vote right there at the top eye at the right of your screen. Anyway, who's better? Stephen Curry versus Kyrie Irving. Now, this is something that's very interesting because whenever someone is up, they always like to say they're better than this other person. Now, just because you have a better record doesn't necessarily mean you're a better person. But first of all, let's just break down each player. So Kyrie Irving, he's actually improved defensively. He's actually, I think statistically, he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league so far this season. But something that I really like about Kyrie Irving, especially this season, is that you can see the growth and the level of maturity. I mean, he left LeBron James, and myself and a lot of other people agreed with me that, okay, he's probably going to average like 30 points per game, but his team probably not going to be that good. They're probably not going to be that good. And I even said, Kyrie, this is going to ruin your career. This is a dumb decision. You're never going to make it to the finals, which you still probably won't, as long as LeBron is in the East, right? And I'm like, Kyrie, you're not going to succeed with the Boston Celtics, right? And Gordon Hayward's injured. And now you see the Boston Celtics win 15 straight games. Kyrie Irving's their best player. Al Horford's their second best player. Jason Tatum's the most efficient rookie I've ever seen. 50, 40, 90 pretty much. Jaylen Brown is doing his thing defensively. Like Kevin Durant said, he took that next step forward. I mean, we're looking at all of these factors, and it's like Kyrie Irving is the cause of this. Kyrie's the reason why, because of the attention he draws on the floor. His IQ has gone up in terms of basketball, because let's be real, if you think the earth is flat, something is wrong with you. But in terms of basketball, Kyrie Irving, his IQ has skyrocketed, and it's just showing through his game. It's showing through his game. His efficiency it's all right. What is it, like 45% from the field? Decent efficiency statistics. But when you look at Kyrie Irving and what he's doing, it's very strange, because I thought, and a lot of other people agreed with me, that his stats were going to skyrocket, but his team wasn't going to be that great. But it's actually the other way around. His team is amazing, but his stats are like, okay, they're decent. But you have to watch him play to really understand, because stats really don't show the full picture, because if it did, then there'd be other players that like pad their stats that would be the best player in the world, but they're just simply not. Like, for example, LeBron James is the best player on the planet. And he has really good stats, but there are players that have better stats than LeBron, but we all know LeBron James is better. There are players that have better stats than Kevin Durant, but we all know KD's the second best player in the world. And I can keep going, but that'll kind of ruin the point of the video. So Kyrie Irving is doing his thing this year, but does that mean he's eclipsed into, or I can't say eclipsed, but does that mean he's skyrocketed into like the exclusive territory? Like, you guys know my big three in terms of the NBA. Now, before I get to that, we'll talk about Stephen Curry. So Stephen Curry, it's funny because he was overrated at one point when they were saying he was better than LeBron. Like the 2016-17 season when they won 73-9. And he actually did deserve the 2015 Finals MVP. There's no way in hell Iguodala won Finals MVP for his defense. That doesn't make sense. LeBron averaged 35, almost a triple-double on like 50% from the field, 50% from three. Like, how does that equate to winning Finals MVP because of your defense? That doesn't make sense. I think Stephen Curry deserved it. Now, in terms of 73-9, there was no way in hell Stephen Curry is better than LeBron. And I said that, and I said Stephen Curry is not even better than Kevin Durant. And that's held out to be true. And now you have people saying Stephen Curry ain't even top 5. That's so not true. He's still the same player he was a year ago, 2 years prior. Yeah, his efficiency has gone down slightly. It's not like 50, 40, 90. It's like, what is it? Like 47, 38, and 90. It ain't as good as it used to be. But, that happens. You can't, it's like, it's not impossible, but it's extremely hard. I think a lot of people don't understand how hard it is, especially in the NBA. These are the best players in the world, right? A freaking scrub in the NBA, like a bench warmer in the league, can go out and win and mollywop any other league in the world, like overseas. And those are the best players overseas, or in the CBA, or the Chinese Basketball Association, or CBL, or the Chinese Basketball League. They go and dominate them, right? So it's very hard to average 50, 40, 90. But you also have to understand that he's now playing behind Kevin Durant. So his statistics are obviously going to go down. But proof last year when Kevin Durant got injured and Stephen Curry came back and actually started to play like that 73-9, 2015-16 Stephen Curry again, people were like, oh my goodness, he's still Stephen Curry. He's back. But I'm like, he never left. He's just playing. That's like when the first year when Dwayne Wade was playing behind LeBron, it's like, and that was the only time, that was the only year D Wade was still in his prime, 2010, 2011. The first year in Miami, it's like, okay, you have LeBron James averaging nearly 30. You have Dwayne Wade averaging 25, and you have Chris Bosh averaging 20. And it's like, Dwayne Wade went from averaging 30 to 25, and people were like, is he still as good as he used to be? And then in the finals, he actually played better than LeBron. You know, and Chris Bosh played better than LeBron in the finals as well. And people were like, is Chris Bosh as good as he used to be? He went from 24 and 10 to 20 to 19 points per game and 10 rebounds. Like, what is going on? You know, you have to understand, when you're playing behind players of LeBron's caliber, of Kevin Durant's caliber, and keep in mind, Dwayne Wade is better than Steph, KD, in my opinion, in his prime, right? So that says a lot, and that Stephen Curry can still do what he's doing. And it shows how humble he is actually as a player, because he knows the bigger pictures to win an NBA championship. But it's not only that, his defense has improved. And the difference between Kyrie and Stephen Curry is when Kyrie takes over, he takes over in terms of mid-range shots, fadeaways, turnarounds, driving to the basket, breaking the ankle, stuff like that. When Stephen Curry takes over, it's like, okay, you want to talk crap? I'll pull up from 3, and then I'll turn around before the shot even goes in. And it's like Steph is counting by 3 and Kyrie's counting by 2. So Kyrie's doing better in terms of leading his team. They have a better record and all this other stuff. And Kyrie's defying the odds. It's different when you have something to prove than when you have already proven something. And I wish more people understood that. Like, okay, Stephen Curry already proved who he is and what he is 2 years in a row with the best record in the league, NBA championship. You know, well, he didn't win the championship in 2015-16, but 73-9. He proved that he's an all-time great player. 50-40-90, first unanimous MVP. He proved it. And then this season, he's not, people say he's in a slump. It's not that he's in a slump, really. It's just he's playing behind Kevin Durant, so his stats don't look as good. You know, it's like, and that's part of the reason why his efficiency, quote-unquote, has gone down, which is why I don't really like the efficiency, because it's really, statistics really don't show the full picture. Because if you want to take efficiency into consideration, if you have someone that usually takes, let's say, 22 shots per game, and they average 50, 40, 90, and then those shots go down to 18, and they average 47, 38, and 90, the reason is because they're taking less shots. So they don't have the larger margin of error. The margin of error is larger because obviously there's fewer shots. You know, so I don't know, man. So who's better though? It's still the same way it's been for the last 3 years. Stephen Curry is still the 3rd best player on the planet. I'm not even a fan of him. Like, I already know this. People are gonna say, people tell me this, oh, you're a Golden State Warrior fan. I'm a Knicks fan. I don't even watch Warrior games. Okay, because it gets me pissed off. It actually does. It gets me pissed off. But I know there's going to be people saying, oh, you're a Golden State Warrior fan. I'm not even a Warrior fan. But the simple fact is that Stephen Curry is just simply better. Now, Kyrie Irving, he's pushing into the top 5 category because when you think about it, well, I can't even say that. I would say, to be more realistic, I would say he's pushing more towards the top 10, like top 8, top 7, because if you look at it, it's a lot of players that are better than him. You have, and it's not even knocking Kyrie Irving, because in the previous video before this one, I literally just praised him, saying he's going to win MVP, which I still believe he will. But if you look at the players better than him, I mean, it's not even close. LeBron James is the best player on the planet. Kevin Durant's the 2nd best player on the planet. Stephen Curry is the 3rd best player on the planet. Kawhi Leonard is the 4th best player on the planet. It's either James or Russ for 5th, and then you have Anthony Davis. You have players like DeMarcus Cousins. You have players like, you know, people. I wouldn't say Paul George. You have players like Carmelo Anthony. You have players like Chris Paul. You have a lot of players, you know, that are better than Kyrie Irving, or could be better than Kyrie Irving. Potentially, it's debatable, but for the most part, they're like, let's say LeBron, KD, Steph, Kawhi, Russ, James, Anthony, DeMarcus, that are like really, like, without a doubt better than Kyrie. But if you look at what Kyrie's doing this season, it's just a matter of time before he's like, okay, y'all still don't think I'm here, right? But watch what happens, because he's doing his thing, man. It's very exciting to watch. But I think Stephen Curry is better than Kyrie Irving. So that settles it. Who's better? Stephen Curry. And it's by a margin. It's by a fairly large margin. It's not knocking Kyrie Irving, but I just feel like he has more to prove, and he's proving it this year, to be honest. He's definitely going to win the MVP. Anyway, it's been your man Steve. Kyrie Irving's doing his thing. The Golden State Warriors are doing their thing. My New York Knicks are doing their thing. My man Kristaps Porzingis is doing his thing. The league is pretty exciting, actually. I can't wait till the Thunder, to the Rockets, to the Cavaliers, to the Knicks, and all these other teams start to actually play well. It's going to be very exciting, especially to see my man Carmelo Anthony actually... Let me stop. It's been your man Steve. That is my favorite player of all time. Anyway, it's been your man Steve. I'm out. Peace.